Folks, welcome into sportsbookreview.com. It is Tuesday, and it's time to talk some Major League Baseball action. I'm Donnie Seymour, Jason Radowitz, also joined by Kyle Purviance, ready to get after it, and my chant's going to start the same today. Rangers, Rangers, Rangers. All I needed was one inning, and thank goodness that's the only inning I needed here to pick up a W and get that Chicken McNuggets money. But I have to preface this by saying yesterday, it's nice to get a little bit of chicken nugget money at McDonald's, but today the play of the day returns for me. We got a great card all the way through. I have 7 game circles to get to. We are going to hit each and every game on this card today, rapid fire and ready to go. Jason, how was your night last night?
It wasn't great. 2 losses that I gave out on the show. The Rockies had no chance to begin with, and the Athletics got robbed by the umpires and by their bats because they struck out 10 times to Rich Hill. Was not expected at all. So poor day. Did call the Marlins upset, and Kyle will talk about that in a little bit. So at least I can say I'm giving some value, even if I'm going 0-2 on the show sometimes. At least I'm giving some value, and some of my looks are still valid. So you guys can take that for what it's worth. But at least giving you guys some information there that works.
Yeah, an interesting one last night for me as well. As you guys know, I have an infatuation with betting the Yankees in game because they always have a 1.5 or 2. I don't want to get into the umpires and what they missed and no challenges because I want to keep everything on even keel here today as we're ready to rock and roll. Kyle, how was your night last night?
Oh, night was pretty good. Aside from the Dodgers, shitting the bed and, the one team I rail on, the Reds, and Akbar will tell you about it right here in the chat. If I rail on a team, this goes all the way back to the football season. If I bash a team, they're probably going to win. But aside from that, we got the A's first 5. We got the Nerfy. We got the Braves team total. We got a lot of good things that happened. But those Dodgers let us down. And, of course, my Brewers let us down. I am a man of my word. So here's the Patron Silver. Here's the shot glass. Jason is going to kill me if he keeps being right more than I am. And, he's a little smarter than I am, of course. So it's not that big of a shock. So cheers to you all. It's a Tequila Tuesday. I'm excited to be here. We got some good spots tonight. Cheers to you all, and hopefully I don't throw up live on air. Let's go.
There you go, and welcome to the show, and hopefully that means some good spirits for tonight with some spirits right now. 75 people already watching the show. Thank you, guys. 85,300 people have hit that subscribe button for our channel on YouTube right here at sportsbookreview.com. Turn those notification bells on because we are about to get into it, and it's going to go fast. No afternoon day baseball here on a Tuesday, so let's dip right into the Nationals and the Blue Jays Game 1. Let's set the table for us tonight. Scherzer and Thornton on the mound opened up. How about this? Pinnacle minus 137 as a favorite towards the Nationals. Drops down to 115. Some of the sports books here in New Jersey have it as low as minus 112. Over under in this game, 8.5 across the board. And I'm looking at some anticipated lineups here for the Toronto Blue Jays. And leading off, George Springer. Interesting game here, Jason. I'll start with you first.
Yeah, that'll be fun seeing Springer back in action. But it is against Max Scherzer. And we've seen Scherzer has, struggled a little bit early on in games, and he is allowing some base runners, but he's done a good job kind of getting out of jams and whatnot. And so you still expect Scherzer to have a good game, but, really the Blue Jays offense is just way better than the Nationals. And, I don't know if you can really trust Trent Thornton in the first place there either, although he does have an FIP of 2.74 in just 15.1 innings pitched. So the Blue Jays, the bullpens look pretty good as well. You'll probably see a lot of that tonight. And Washington's bats have not looked great. So this one's really tough. I think Nationals, obviously at minus 115 in the first 5 on the money line, could be the play. But you can't really expect many runs from the Nationals. Just have to hope that they got maybe one and Scherzer holds it down. No, definitely not a play I'd be taking here with seeing Springer back in the lineup.
Yeah, a movie was out about maybe 10 years ago called The Whackness, and it should be rebranded in 2021 as the lineup that Washington is about to put in play today. Let's go over the ISO power numbers. Keep in mind, .150 is about average. Harrison, 125. Hernandez, .077. Turner, .091. Bell, .132. Schwarber, .068. Castro, .113. Congratulations, Avila, 200, because it goes right back to Robles at .071 and Stevenson .152. That's for his right-handed pitching. You should be able to do damage against Thornton, but this team stinks, Kyle.
Yeah, they just can't score a run. So what the hell do you do with this game? And I look at them like, ooh, that 8.5 seems a little high to me. You'd think maybe a 7.5 would be more appropriate here with Scherzer on the mound and the absolute ineptitude of the Nationals bat. So picking a side here, of course, you take that pitching advantage, and I think Jason touched on it perfectly. The first 5 for the Nationals, you're getting minus 0.5 at plus 100. So even if they just get 1 run on the board in the first 5 innings, you've got to like their chances of having the lead because you've got Scherzer on the mound. Toronto's lineup certainly better than Washington's, but you have such a big discrepancy here in the pitching advantage here for Washington because Thornton is he just stinks. I'll be honest, in DFS, I don't have any player from either team outside of Ryan Zimmerman, who has some nice splits here and a little bit of Josh Bell. Other than that, I want nothing to do with either lineup here. I think the under, if you're going to bet this game, makes a lot of sense. Vitalis makes a point in the chat box that the Sharps are on Toronto, and he's right. Thornton is not an innings eater. The good news is for Toronto, though, if you're taking that side, they've had the best bullpen in the big leagues to start the year. So if they do go to that bullpen early, you can expect them to probably perform pretty well. 2.10 ERA to start the year. Like I said, best in the majors, just slightly ahead of New York and Seattle. How about Seattle this year? So a slight lean in the first 5 innings to Washington. I would say this game would play to an under. All my numbers tell me under in this game.
Yeah, if I'm looking at it from a betting perspective here, I'm certainly not going full game. I want Max Scherzer first 5 innings straight up against Thornton because if Scherzer gets lit up, you're not winning that game full game anyway. That's really your only shot, and you're going to get Max Scherzer around a 140 number over the first 5 innings. Let's keep going here. Boston and the New York Mets, one of the teams that is on my board for a possible team total here. Red Sox and Mets, 979, 980 on the rotation. If we set it up here, 140 as a favorite towards the New York Mets. That's now closer to the 150 range. Some outlets here in New Jersey, 165 and higher. Totals, opening up at 9 and 8.5, primarily 9s across the board. Your Mets tonight in action, Jason. Are we finally going to break the bats out, or is that offense from the Red Sox going to overpower the lefty Peterson today?
So eventually the Mets will figure it out offensively. Obviously, we've mentioned, for a while now, they've had to play in the cold, they've had to play in the snow, they've had to play in the rain, they've had to have cancellations due to other teams having COVID. So they've been through it all. I think, once they're able to play a lot of games in a row, they'll probably figure it out a little bit. Doesn't really help either having a day off yesterday. More days off for the Mets. It's just not helping their case at all. But again, there's nicer weather tonight for the Mets, and they're going up against Garrett Richards, who he struggled to start the year. Also, of course, the Red Sox have looked really good offensively, and they can all do damage. They got plenty of guys from the right side, and then a couple of guys from the left side that are still solid batters, like Verdugo, for example, against Peterson. But let's not forget Peterson against Donnie's Phillies did have 10 strikeouts at home. Last year, look at his splits, though. He was better on the road, not at home. So I'm not sure if that has any meaning whatsoever. But, yeah, I do agree. I think there'll be a lot of runs in this game. Over 8.5 would be a good look. I think the Mets probably score early, and I would probably back Peterson over Richards to start the game as well. So maybe the Mets in the first 5 as well. I like the over, and I think the Mets end up winning this game.
There you go. New York Mets. What are we looking at, Kyle? Boston coming to town to play the New York Mets. Game time temperature is not as hot as it is here in Philly. Looks like it's going to be around 60 degrees, but to the Mets, that feels like 120 degrees.
Yeah, exactly. They're out in Palm Springs with what they've been dealing with lately. And I thought this game was tough. Look, both pitchers stink. Let's call it what it is. We've seen some upside for Peterson. He was able to do well. Again, that's against a Phillies team with 1 live hitter. I mean, just 1. That's it. They have 1 hitter who is alive in their lineup. I'm looking at this team total for Boston at 3.5. I don't feel comfortable enough about either pitcher to take a side in this, and I do think you guys are right. The over makes a lot of sense here. But when I'm looking at a Boston team total here of over 3.5 at minus 125, I think that makes a lot of sense when you look at sort of the advantage here that they have. It's a 750 weighted 3-year OPS. They have a lot of power righties in their lineup. Martinez actually hits righties better than lefties because he's just one of those guys, and it's handy to know those sort of things, but plenty of power against left-handed pitching. Xander, 34% advantage. Even Hunter Renfroe, you get to the end of the lineup. Hernandez, 58, 54. We've got a 34, a 13, another 13. So the Boston Bats have an opportunity tonight to score runs. I'm seeing a low number. Anytime I see a 3.5, and I like the offense, and we got a lefty versus a bunch of good righties for Boston, I'm going to take it. When you look at the Mets side, look, Garrett Richards is absolutely terrible. There's no doubt about it, and you might get 5 innings out of him. And then, the Boston bullpen has been fairly solid to start the year. If I'm leaning aside, I would probably lean the Mets just looking at their advantages if we go through their lineup here. Still kind of waiting for Lindor to wake up and do some of that big damage, but they've got a lot of lefties high up in that order. Lindor, the switch hitter, he's a little bit more powerful off of righties than he is lefties. Then you've got a 15% advantage for Nimmo, 37% for McNeil, Conforto 7%, Dom Smith 9%. So both teams could really get to their team total here. I think the over makes a lot of sense in this game. I'm just taking the cheaper number, the easier number to get to. You're getting the Mets at 4.5, the Red Sox at 3.5. I'm going to be the coward, take the one less run. I'll take the Boston team total over 3.5 at -125.
969, 970. The Angels and the Rangers setting the card. Quintana, the lefty, versus Foltynewicz, the right-hander. I don't ever trust Foltynewicz. So will he get lit up tonight? That's what we're going to have to decide in this one, because yesterday the bats came to play down in Texas. We'll see if that roof is once again open. Opened up Quintana, the lefty, as a favorite, 151 offshore Pinnacle. That's now at 143. Some of the New Jersey outlets as high as 150, but looking at FanDuel here, -138. Nines across the board, Jason. We'll start with you first. Quintana versus Foltynewicz.
Well, it looks like Anthony Rendon might be back in the lineup. I'm not sure if that's confirmed, but that's something to look at for the Angels. And if that's the case, we've talked about this for a while now. It's really been just the three bats, and Ohtani, Trout, and Walsh, and now you add Rendon, and that helps the lineup. If Fletcher can get going, and then you have Pujols, who's starting to hit some home runs, and like the Angels lineup could start to produce a little bit. And now they're going up against Folty. And, they should be able to score against him. He's now allowed 3.91 home runs per 9 innings. That's literally four home runs per 9 innings. And we talked about the Angels and their heavy power bats in the lineup. And, the Angels should be able to score and score some home runs in this game as well. So I would probably agree with the Angels here. Looking at over 4.5 at -120. I like that the most. Quintana, really high strikeouts, really high walks as well. The batting average of balls in play currently at .412 through 20 innings pitched. That will likely dip eventually. His LOB percentage, left on base percentage, is 54.9%. That seems extremely low as well. So I think Quintana will end up pitching 5 innings, probably maybe allow 2-3 runs. But the Angels, I think, have more upside with their offense and could do more damage. So I like the Angels here. I'm looking at team total. I think that they can really do some damage tonight.
Ron Kopel, one of the best over-under backers for an umpire in Major League history, through his time in Major League Baseball, up 42 units to the over. So maybe squeezing the strike zone here with Ron Kopel behind the plate. Kyle, what are your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I think you're 100% right. You touched on it beautifully. This game plays to an over. You're always fading Fulton fadage, okay? So anytime you see him on the mound, stack the other team. The projected Angels lineup, and from what I've seen, Rendon will be in the lineup tonight with Trout, with Walsh, now with Fletcher. So now we're talking about an Angels lineup that's starting to come together, and now you've got multiple components that can produce runs. It's not just the Walsh and Trout show, and Ohtani, of course. And now you add Rendon. This combined lineup is 20 of 59 lifetime, a 339 average. Now, Fulton, he did pitch 6 strong innings the last time they played here, about a week ago or so, put up 31 points. But for me, this is all about the Angels winning this game. I love their team total over 4.5. When you look at the lineups and you look at the advantages here, we can just go over it real quickly. Even Pujols has a slight advantage here, so Pujols is not such a Pujol tonight. Rendon, 10 of 31 lifetime with a home run off him. Trout, 2 of 3 with a home run off him. We've got 8, 51, 23, 26, 3, and 22% advantages for this lineup. The Angels team total over 4.5 makes a ton of sense to me at -130, and I think the over in this game overall makes a ton of sense. If you like the Angels' first 5 and it's a full fade of Fulton fadage, you can get a -0.5 in the first 5 at -105 as well. All on the Angels here. Really like that team total.
Angels got to pull the freight tonight, because that is a disastrous lineup versus lefties, which it seems like the Texas Rangers cannot hit lefties. Did well yesterday just in the first inning, but then 8 straight shutout innings for those Rangers. But who cares? They cashed their team total. Makes it look even better where you got in and out in the first inning and nobody else scored. Who gives a damn about that game? So it is what it is in that one. So it was nice to get some of that McDonald's money back. Let's keep moving forward. Night game, 961, 962. Oh, it's going to be so easy back in those Dodgers. Team total 3.5, final score 5-3. Reds jumping right back in. Hoffman versus Buehler, 7.5s across the board. Heavy favorite for the Dodgers. Opened up at 218 offshore Pinnacle, now sits at 248. Buehler, anybody today, Jason?
Buehler's been really good so far this season. He gives you innings, 6 or 7 innings per start, allowed 2 runs or less in every start as well. I think there's reason to back the Dodgers here. I really can't see them losing another one, especially against Reds and Jeff Hoffman, who's getting the start, and he's got a 6.05 ERA dating back to last year. Coming out of relief and 4 starts, 41.2 innings pitched, still 6.05 ERA and a 4.27 FIP. So yeah, I think the Dodgers, they should score early in this game. Out of all the pitchers that the Dodgers can throw out there, I think Buehler's pretty consistent, and you can kind of rely on him to give you, a serious 5, 6, 7 innings of quality work, and especially a quality start. So if I had to choose, Dodgers -25 in the first 5 at around -135. But man, this is getting ugly. The Dodgers really have to wake up a little bit, especially against righties.
Yeah, if we're taking a look at this game, no run first inning, this is not the one you want, because if you're looking at the first 3 batters from each team here, Betts, 343 weighted on base average, Seager, 365, Turner, 421, and then Cincinnati, 501 for Winker, Castellanos, 405 going up against righties. So it might be some damage early in this game. Which way are we looking, Kyle? We jumping back in on those Dodgers team total? What are we thinking here?
I think I am, and I'm kind of feeling like a sick bastard today, and I'm looking at this Reds team total at 2.5. Are you kidding me?
Oh.
At -125. Now listen, Buehler has been very, very good, right? Let's just call it what it is. And Hoffman on the other side has been dreadful. The projected lineup for the Dodgers tonight, lifetime off of Hoffman, 14 of 34. That's a 4.12 average. The advantages are here across the board. I mean, 19%, 60%, 6%, 10%, 31%, 38%. That's 7 of their 8 hitters tonight have an advantage. I think the home run prop for Seager makes a lot of sense. He's been red hot, roping the ball. Of course, we've got that righty versus lefty matchup, and he's just a little bit more powerful, about 10 points more apt to hit a home run against lefty or against righties than lefties. So yeah, I like the Dodgers. I do like their team total. But I got to tell you, if you want a little bit of pain tonight, I know Buehler's been good. But man, a team total of 2.5 with the offense that the Reds have and the talent they have in their lineup seems awfully low to me. And I'm going to say it again. I like the Dodgers team total for a couple of reasons, just like last night. One, it's a righty, not a good righty. And the Reds bullpen still stinks. Look, they should have had that 4th run last night. There's no doubt about it. I don't know what the hell happened other than I bashed the Reds and guaranteed the Dodgers would hit their team total. So I absolutely jinxed it, and the universe decided to crap in my Cheerios. But I still like the Dodgers team total over 4.5 -110. And if you want a little bit of pain, that 2.5 is hard to ignore with a team as talented on offense as the Reds are.
All right, time for some best bets and bankers, the best bets on the Major League Baseball board. I had 7 games listed. Cleveland's team total, Oakland's team total, the Mets team total, Milwaukee's team total, Houston's team total, San Diego's team total, and the Dodgers team total. You know who's the best of that bunch? I'm going to the Big Apple today. And no, we're not going to bet the New York Yankees. It is the New York Mets. 4.5 is a team total. Anywhere this morning you could get between -110 and +100 on that number. We are looking at projections here. Garrett Richards is a disaster on the mound. The worst xFIP guy out of every single pitcher on this card today, it's Garrett Richards at about 6.5. What does that mean? He's not doing very well for himself. Putting guys on base, not striking guys out. Fly ball pitcher. I think tonight is finally the day that the Mets catch up with their bats and put 5+ runs on the board. As we always like to say as well, looking at the opposite side here, for me, in a Mets game, Boston can score some runs. Peterson has done very well this year, so there might be some regression with him also. Let's get 4 and 5 runs from Boston to push that number for the New York Mets, so at least we get the bottom of the 9th if we do need it, or even getting extra innings. My best bet and banker tonight is going to be on those New York Mets. Team total over 4.5. Last night was McDonald's money. 10-4 my play of the days. We're putting that in play tonight on the New York Mets. Jason, take it away. Best bets and bankers for yourself.
And I hope that cashes, because the Mets need to start winning, and need to start winning a lot. So excited for that one. Definitely going to be rooting for that one. But for me, I'm on the Royals versus Pirates over 7.5 at -125. We got Jacob Junis and Tyler Anderson on the mound for the Royals and the Pirates. Both these guys really haven't looked great to start the season. Junis, he's now allowing 41.2% of hard contact, has a batting average of balls in play of 333. And that's not a fluke, because of all the hard contact he's allowing. That's why the batting average of balls in play is also really high. Also allowing 1.7 home runs per 9 innings as well. He allowed 7 runs in his last 2 starts, which were just 10 innings pitched. So you're looking at, a lineup that can definitely do damage against Junis. They have some lefties in the lineup. Frazier, Moran, Polanco. Junis has been really bad against lefties dating back to last year, and I definitely expect the Pirates to do some work there offensively. Then you have Anderson. He limits hard contact, but not getting too many grounders. And the Ks are low, and the walks can get high for him. He's gone 5 innings pitched in his last in all the games that he started, but he's allowed at least a run in every game. 9 runs in his last 20.2 innings pitched. Those 20.2 innings pitched, 22 hits, 3 home runs, and still has 21 strikeouts. But the Royals do have 7 righties in that lineup, and they do have some solid power numbers. And the expectation is that they use that to their advantage and score some runs as well, as Anderson's really struggling versus righties this season as a lefty. So again, over 7.5, minus 125 in that game. And then one more best bet for me. We're going all the way down to the late night in Padres game. Padres versus Diamondbacks. You got Chris Paddock against Merrill Kelly. Merrill Kelly has not been great to start the season, and he also allows 44.6% hard contact. The walks are down, but the hits are not. And he's allowed 3 runs in every start this season, 3 or more runs in every start this season. So that's 28 hits in 21 innings pitched with 19 runs and 4 home runs. And you'll get Chris Paddock. Paddock, yes, a lot of people are going to say some bad things about him. He's not the guy I think we all expected him to be. But he's allowed 14 runs this season. 7 of them have been unearned runs. And I know Arizona, they're going to be stacking a lot of left-handed bats, and that might hurt Paddock a little bit. But he's only been going 5 innings pitched, and that's because, one, he's been struggling to really work. He's struggling to get out of getting strikeouts. So he's struggling to get strikeouts, and you're seeing a lot of pitch counts go high with 7, 8 kind of pitch at bats. And also, of course, the unearned runs keeping him in the game longer in each inning. So that's why he's only gone 5 innings pitched in every start this season. So I expect him to go deeper. I think he'll be a lot better against the Diamondbacks team. And I think if there's one game where he's going to put it all together with the strikeouts and limiting hits and limiting runs, I think it'll be against the Diamondbacks, although we did allow 4 runs in that first start against Diamondbacks in the first game of the season. So again, Padres, minus 0.5 in the first 5. I hope you guys understood what the heck I was saying. I don't even know if I did, but I hope these 2 cash.
All right, Kyle, best bets and bankers here. What are you looking at tonight?
Well, I'm 100% on board with Jason on that Padres first 5, so I absolutely agree with that. So I like the Padres first 5. I think that makes a ton of sense. I'm going to go with the Braves team total over 4.5. When I just look at that lineup and the advantages that they have tonight, I really like the Braves team total. I like them against Williams. Let's go over the advantages here, right here in the lineup. I have a ton of them in DFS as well. If you're playing DraftKings, FanDuel, love that. Home run prop for Acuna. I don't mind that either. He's already done that once in 5 at-bats against Williams. We've got advantages here: 36, 16, 8, 36, 10, 36, and 62. The only hitter without a distinct advantage today in the Braves lineup is Marcell Ozuna. And, oh, yeah, he's gone 7 of 18 lifetime off of Williams. So I actually really do like the Braves team total today, over 4.5, minus, I believe that is 115 I was looking at earlier. Yes, over 4.5, minus 15. That makes a ton of sense to me. And if we're going to give out a plus money spot, I'm going to go right back to those A's in the first 5. Look, outside of Wendell Lau, I believe it's Lau because Lowe left, right? So this is Lau.
Lowe homered last night. Yeah,
Lowe homered last night. Yeah, yes, he did. But outside of Wendell, Lau, and Meadows, there's just nothing here. I think Montas can get the job done. You're getting plus 120, minus 0.5 in the first 5 for the A's. I think that's a nice plus money spot. So Padres first 5, I'm with Jay. Like that Braves team total. Someone mentioned the Astros team total. I think that's a really nice play as well. And we'll go with the A's first 5, plus 125.
There you go. And by the way, we're going to stump real quickly here after we give our best bets that we'll cash in tonight. And the only thing we ask for you, go vote for us on the YouTube page right here at sportsbookreview.com. Yesterday, before anybody really knew what was going on, first 50 votes, we had the lead, and then other shows had pumped up their numbers. But here's the caveat. We're last to pump up our numbers. So I don't know if you guys have burner accounts that you're not using out here. So please go on there and vote for us. If you've already voted on your first one, hey, get to your second, third, fourth, and fifth one. There's some guys in this chat box I know that razz us from different accounts. Use all those accounts in our favor because, hey, maybe by Friday we won't even have a show if we're showing at 12%. as you like us, really don't like us. So somebody get out there and vote. Look at all these winners we've given. I'm 10-4 in my play of the day. McDonald's money's flying out the window. Don't you remember when you used to go to McDonald's and you got the little coupons for Sundays and free fries? I'm giving those out left and right here. The least you can do is go in there and hit that thumbs up or button and vote. Get in there and get it done. We got to have at least 20% of the vote by tomorrow morning. So, yes, Abel, thank you so much for going there and voting for us. Let's spin it around Major League Baseball here, the odds lightning round. Because as I said here on my card, it's chock full. And there's a game starting off right away tonight at 6:10, Minnesota and Cleveland. 3.5 is a team total towards Cleveland. Fox Bet showing that at -128. Why can't Cleveland get base hits tonight? Why can't they go over that number? Not a great lineup. They're going to be able to stack lefties. Maeda's been stinking this year. And versus lefties, 47 batters. 0.479 weighted on base average. ISO number close to 300. They'll score runs tonight. So we're going to rip it around here, Jason, for yourself. Any looks there on the Baltimore game, Oakland game, Miami game? What are you looking at tonight around the card?
I think the Orioles obviously are a solid money line spot here. I think I saw them at +155. Corey Kluber on the mound. Yeah, so far 6.29 FIP in 5 starts. The walks are getting really high. Batting average of balls in play really high at 341. So I think there's a spot there for the Orioles. Obviously, Matt Harvey looked really good last night. So that was fun to see, especially against the Yankees. So I guess the Orioles at +155 is an interesting look there if you're looking for an underdog spot.
Yeah.
There you go. Kyle, taking a look at some of the card games here that come up. Zach Eflin on the mound. Yesterday was an interesting spot in St. Louis. 80 degrees, wind blowing out at 17 miles an hour. We said on the show, this doesn't sound right. Why? Well, yeah, the Phillies were the big winner last night. 2 runs, both by Solo. Any other games on the card you're looking at, Kyle?
Yeah, I'm sort of looking at this Pittsburgh-Kansas City game as well. I know Jason touched. I like the Royals quite a bit in that spot, and I like Junis for DraftKings. I do think the Orioles, who we just talked about, that's a sneaky team total of 3.5 for Baltimore. When you sort of look at the advantages here for Baltimore, I'm stunned. I actually have 5 Orioles in my player pool tonight against Kluber, who has really struggled. But we've got advantages here of 13, 21, and 44. Oh, excuse me, and 62. Orioles team total 3.5 could be sneaky. And I do want to point out, when you go to vote for us, it's just right there at the SBR homepage. Just click that community tab. You'll see the poll. We need you guys to support us because every other show, the fans of their show are supporting the hell out of them. We cannot be the losers because you guys didn't support us. I believe in you guys. I believe you can take the 5 seconds, help us out. I hate to lose. It'll lower my blood pressure a little bit. Go to that community tab at SBR's homepage on YouTube. Click it, vote for us. We appreciate you guys.
Yep, mail-in votes. I need to get out the Hispanic vote as well. With Hispanic in my heritage here, we need to get that. We need to win that voting block here on the channel. I think I can control that. Cuban Connect is in here. We always stick together. So let's get after it and get that vote in and get ready to go. But let's spin it around here, clearing the bases today. Right on cue, another minute to go. I'm excited for this card tonight. Yesterday, tried to make my way through it, ended up picking some money here, but tonight it's time to get down to business. We had some really good best bets and bankers on this card tonight, following it all the way through. The show doesn't end when we go off the air. If you have any questions, put them in the comment section here. Both myself, Kyle, and Jason always perusing through. And also reach out to Twitter on us if you have any questions and get out the vote. I don't want to come on here tomorrow at 12% because that means we might not come on the next day here. Show us your appreciation, whether watching live or in replay. Thank you guys for the thumbs up. But we're out of here for the Major League Baseball show for Tuesday. Hopefully your card goes as well as we think it's going to. I'm Donnie Seymour for Jason Radowitz and Kyle Purviance. We are the Major League Baseball show right here at sportsbookreview.com. Good luck on those wagers.